Hey guys, and welcome back to the Interceptor. Today we're here with Alliance War Season 4, War 4 of Season 25, and D69 is taking on Republic of the PH. So these guys were rated somewhere around 90th in the world when we matched them. We were rated, I think it was 30th exactly. So it is a big mismatch, but after the last 3 wars we've had, with 2 tight losses and 1 blowout, it really sucks having... it really sucked having those 3 wars, so it was nice to have just a free win where we had to give absolutely zero effort. We barely boosted, and we still did really well. Actually, in this war, using little to no boosts, we set our record for least deaths in the Alliance overall, as well as my BG had their first ever 0 death clear of a battle group. Which I think we've gotten like 1 death in our battle group like 6 times maybe, but we've never gotten a 0 death clear, and that's what we did today. So yeah, let's go take a look at our fights today. So we have 10 fights. I was grinding the arena and streaming because I'm going for the featured 5-star, which is Odin right now. So I was not able to plan war, but Run did it, and he did a great job, obviously, because we didn't die even once. And yeah, I think I'm actually going to get all of my fights done on this 1 6-hour boost I just popped. So we're just going to have to pop a attack boost and then a green boost the second time. But actually, in this first session, I take 7 fights because I got help with energy by the guy that was on backup. So the first fight we're going for is going to be a rank 5 Manthing. This is path 1, section 1. So this is the vigorous assault overload path. And if you start a fight charging heavy, you actually stop the regen and the armor up node. So that's just never going to activate. And we did get tier 1 points, by the way. This alliance was in tier 2, but it's like a 50-50 shot if you're in different tiers. But we did get the tier 1 points for this win, which is really nice. But yeah, there's not too much to say about this fight. I think the purpose of this fight is to have a Quake be sent here. But if they're putting that, they should also have the second champion be someone that shouldn't be quaked, and they failed to do that this war. So yeah, this is just a really straightforward Quake fight. It's really fast too, actually. I probably could have heavied there and then no, it wouldn't have killed, but yeah, it wouldn't have hurt me as well because you can't get nullified when you're under concussion. I couldn't have gotten the poison or the pustule on myself, and there we go, 100% out of the first fight. So I got to give credit to thank SCZ. He is the one that is taxing me here. He takes me to the CMM fight, he takes me to the Spiderham, and he takes me to the Doom fight. So really awesome of him. And he just sat here while I quaked everything. So on this second node, this is Masochism. We have a rank 3 6-star CMM, and I did speed up this fight just because it can get a little long, as well as I think I sped up the next 4 fights as well because they're all Quake fights. Yeah, I think it's my first 6 fights this war are all Quake fights, so that's fun. The team today is going to be Quake, Falcon, and White Magneto. Originally, I was assigned the exact same team as the last war, which is Quake, Warlock, and Falcon. Yeah. But the fight I was supposed to use Warlock for, he was only for 1 fight, and it was I A-bomb on Path 5, so Path 5, Section 2, the Intercept node. So I just told my leader, hey, I'm going to leave Warlock out for this war. I really don't need him because Quake can take that fight, so I'm going to bring White Mags, use it for that fight, and then I'll help 2 others by using White Mags pre-fights on their fight. And it did actually work out perfectly, as I end up using all 3 of my pre-fights, only 1 for myself in this war. So yeah, that's really nice. And yeah, the CMM goes down really nicely. I think we only failed to prevent the Masochism. It was either 2 or 3 times. I think it was 2 times. So really clean fights. We're still at full health, and this is probably the worst. Actually, no, this is by far the worst fight of the war. This is a rank 5 Spiderham, and I do not know what was going through my head in this fight. I just play like absolute garbage this whole fight. Like it's by far the worst Quake fight I've had in several seasons. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I take hits in 2 different instances. That's the first one right there. But luckily I get the popper debuff on me, so I regen right back up to 99%. And there's the second hit. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just taking hits in this fight. Like, it's crazy. It's not the most hits I've taken in a fight this season or like in a while, but with Quake, it's the most separate mistakes I've made. I think it's tied for the most hits I've taken in a Quake fight as well this season. I could be wrong. But yeah, we finished off the rest of the fight great, and I've Quaked this guy on encroaching stun. I'm comfortable Quaking him, but apparently I don't know, I just fell apart in that fight. I took 2 hits. And now we're going to go into this next fight. So this is going to be a rank 3 6-star Doom on Power Snack, except it's unduped, so you never get the shock. So this is basically, so I've taken Power Snack all 4 wars this season. 3 of the wars, so war 1, 2, and 4 were Dooms, and then war 3 was a Domino. By the way, this guy plays with Suicides. I don't know, I just found that kind of funny. I think they had 2 people out of 10 in this BG place their defense with Suicides. Because I guess when you're tier 2, I think this alliance was at the very, very top of Plat 3, or like about to go into Plat 2, or they were at the bottom of Plat 2 about to go into Plat 3, but they were somewhere around there. But yeah, the other 2 Dooms I've Quaked have both been ranked 3 6-stars Awakened. So it was just really, really weird to see an unduped Doom here, because the whole point of putting Doom on a node where he nullifies is that the opponent gets shocked, and you can then stun them with a heavy attack as the defender. But this guy, I don't know why. I think there are nodes for unduped Doom. I think he's a bad defender in the current meta, but I think there are nodes that sort of work for him. Not really, but sort of. And I just don't think this is one of them. I think the best node for Doom right now, I think it's gotta be node 3, which is Strike Back and Aggression Fury. I think that's the only one. But now we'll go up to the most interesting fight. Excuse me. This is a rank 3 6-star Korg on Mixmaster, so there is a White Mags pre-fight on it. I was scheduled to put the White Mags pre-fight on, and then SCZ was moving up for me with energy, and he had White Mags, and I think there were 2 people with White Mags, just him and I think there are only 4 or 5, one of the 2 fights total that needed it throughout the map, so it just didn't really matter who put it on. And because he put this one on, I was able to be the one that put it on both of the right side minis I didn't take. And you'll notice right there, 25 seconds into the fight, we actually disconnect. This was all recorded at once. I have no clue what happened, but I hit reconnect. We went back in, and I healed up Quake. And this did count as an attack bonus loss, so keep that in mind. That is 1 attack bonus lost. That is not a death. We've always said disconnects do not count as deaths. Timeouts sometimes don't count as deaths. It's dependent on a couple factors, but that's irrelevant. The way I track stats, I do not think it's fair. Like, I have video proof of me taking the fight and then just randomly disconnecting in the middle of the fight. So anyways, it just took me a few potions, which was really, really annoying. But we healed up, we went back in, and this is a flawless fight. I mean, we don't get tagged. Nothing happens to us in this fight. It's a perfect Quake fight, because I've never died to this fight, and I will never die to Quaking Mixmaster Korg. Even during Stubborn days, I soloed it every single time with Quake. But yeah, there's just nothing to this fight. It's kind of an outdated placement, although we sometimes do see it at the high levels. We didn't really expect an alliance like this to have an R3 Korg, because usually alliances this low don't rank for defense. But, I mean, it was a fun fight. I think it takes just over 3 minutes, so it's a fun Quake fight, you know. But yeah, there's not too much to say about this fight. It's just really unlucky that the game just didn't feel like giving us the full attack bonus on this fight, but that's completely fine. Oh, I do take one hit. I actually did not remember that. Wow. Okay, it's gonna turn out to be irrelevant because in the next fight we're taking is the armor break fight. Which is this Terrax on Footloose Kinetic Transference and Force of Will. So I'm going to Quake this fight as well. This is just a rank 2 6-star, but the armor break that you actually get from this node is just going to heal me back up to full. So I could have gone in this fight with 20% health. It wouldn't have made a difference. But yeah, the initial armor break, you can't prevent it because of Force of Will. So that when that goes away, then the node armor break timer starts, and now we have a permanent armor break. But yeah, it's just a super easy way to heal here. He's going down relatively fast. He doesn't have super high physical resistance, but I mean, he has decent physical resistance. It's not super low, but it's I think it's a 6 or 7 cycle fight, so very fast. Of course, you won't be getting the concussion on him, which is good because this person is running willpower, so it actually just made the fight a little faster. I don't understand that placement because Doom can do that fight as well, but I mean, if they'll place it, I'll take it. And now we're going to go into the first Falcon fight. So this is going to be an R3 thing. I think I checked the guy's profile and it was like SIG 140 or something like that. It wasn't super high, but Falcon completely shuts down the protection that thing gets from his Doom ability, so it doesn't really matter. So there I parry dash back and we're going to get the opening. And there, I don't really know what happened. I kind of took a look at that and it looks like I just dashed back and then I tried to dash back a second time and he was just a little too fast. I don't care, really, but that looks like what happened. And then we do get the intercept, so we shut off the node permanently. And the first part of this fight just goes absolutely flawlessly. So in the first locked on, we get him down to 30%. We're going to evade the butt bomb right there and counter quickly. But we just don't want to give him too many rock stacks. And then here, I take the opportunity to lock on while he's throwing a special one. I could have countered that, but I wasn't. I was just being a little safe because I have one more Falcon fight after this, and I just don't really want to waste items. So right here, I'm going to kill him again. So there we go. Very safe fight. Under a minute, too. And all these fights are taken with a 10% green boost and a 10% attack boost. So that was all my fights I was able to do at once, and then I went to work and I came back from work and I cleared these last 3 fights. So this first fight is going to be Immortal Abomination on path 5, which is the ebb and flow intercept. So this is the most common placement for Immortal Abomination. And Quake, honestly, I thought Warlock was the best counter before I did this fight, but now I kind of think Quake is. So I took off. I was running Suicides when war started because I placed my defense, then I switched over to Suicides for the arena grind, and I ended up taking off my Suicides for section 1 just because I didn't want to waste too many potions, and I know I would still solo all my fights without Suicides. And then when I was putting my Suicides back on for arena, I was at work, right? And like right after I finished my war fights, so there was no reason for me to put Suicides back on yet. So I figured I'll get home, I put on half Suicides with bleed only, so I only lose about 8 to 9% of my health for an extra 30% damage. I'd say that's pretty worth it. And then as soon as I finished these fights, I went back into the arena and I put the remaining points, I just left some points out, I put them into the Poison Mastery to complete Suicides. So then we just got right back into the grind. It worked out really nicely. So there's not too much to say about this. It's a very simple Quake fight. He doesn't have insane physical resistance. In fact, I think it's pretty low. So our Quake cycles are doing around 3,800, which is just very good. That means that they would be doing over 7,000 probably if he did not have the Protect. Now, there is a way that you can hit the intercepts during concussion with Quake, and you can shut this node down permanently, and it'll just be a regular Quake fight. I personally do not have an issue with quaking really long fights, so I would rather have a 4-minute Quake fight with no risk than a 1-minute Quake fight where I have to get 1 intercepts. For me, it's worth it because I could Quake a fight for 10 minutes straight. I don't care. But that's just me. If some people are less confident with Quake, they could do it. It's very doable. So now we're going to go into the next node. We're taking all 3 of the intercept nodes, and this is going to be a rank 3 6-star unduped Eyehawk, which is the same rank mine is. But yeah, I try to get a bunch of intercepts, and this guy just does not go for it, which is really, really weird. But there, I went for another one. There, he hit a parry, but he has negative 100% ability accuracy, so it doesn't matter. I saw him walk up into me, and when the opponent walks up to you and doesn't hold block, it means that they're preparing to parry you. So all I have to do is just, well, with Falcon, I just disregard that. With most champs, you then back off and hit a parry. But with Falcon, I just disregarded it. And here we're going to go for another L2. Or was that my first that fight? I think that was my first. I don't recall. But anyways, yeah, we're locked on. And the lock-on actually lasts longer against Science Champions. So this is going to go really, really quickly. But I think we are going to have to go for one more cycle of locked on. So here, I'm just going to wait out while my locked on is on cooldown. I'm not going to hit him too much. But here I thought I could bait out one more L1. It turns out he does not go for it, so I'm just going to completely ignore him and just kill him. Because if you guys don't know the matchup of Falcon versus Eyehawk, if you actually kill him while he is locked on, he will not get the immunity to death, and he will not get the regeneration. And that has nothing to do with the dupe ability. The dupe ability barely affects him as a defender. My rank 3 Eyehawk on defense is unduped as well. And I wouldn't have done that if the dupe ability was super significant. But no, it has nothing to do with the regeneration or when he doesn't die. It has to do with some stuff that's complicated that I don't love his sig ability personally. I think it's quite annoying. And not worth it, but anyways, this is my last fight of the war, so this is going to be a rank 5 5-star Sasquatch on the enhanced regeneration node. So there's really nothing to this. It's quite a simple and common placement. Sasquatch is a very, very easy champion to Quake, especially during Wrath. I love how aggressive he is, and when he finishes his medium attack, he does 2 swipes up with his claws like upwards in the air, just to signify that it's done. And if he doesn't, he does like a really over dramatic punch down that like he really slumps down when he does it. So all I have to do is just remember those 2 things, and he is so easy to Quake. And yeah, I honestly love doing this fight. It's a lot of fun quaking this guy. I do it in Alliance Quest all the time. So yeah, he's not going to take a lot of damage because, first of all, I think he has either the first or the second highest health pools in the game. And he also has decent physical resistance. But he's taking 8,000 damage per Aftershock when they expire. So obviously he doesn't have that good physical resistance. I think it's just his health pool. But even a 5-star on a node like this does take 2 minutes to Quake. So I ended off with a 10.7k heavy attack there. And that is the end of my war. But actually it's not. I'm going to go up to this Killmonger, and I'm going to apply my White Magneto pre-fight to it. Jay Gase was taking the fight, but I wanted to tell him that I had an extra White Mags pre-fight because I didn't get to tell him earlier. I honestly didn't know he was taking it at that time, so good thing he actually went out of the fight, gave me a chance to put the pre-fight on. I was supposed to use my other one on Korg, but obviously SCZ did that before I could get to it, so I did put it on. He took it down, and then I walked up to Kingpin, put my last White Mags on, and then that was it. And yeah, if you guys notice that, take a look at the deaths. Oh, also, I got first MVP with 10 defender kills. I think 2 were with Killmonger and 8 were with my Apocalypse boss. Look at that. 2 deaths as an alliance. I paused at a horrible moment. Oh my god. Anyways, we had 3 deaths as an alliance, one of which was my disconnect, which means as an alliance, we got 2 deaths total, which is the best D69 has ever done. Grant you, this is against a very subpar alliance, and their defense was obviously not that good. But even if we're taking a war super lightly and we're only dying 2 times, regardless of how weak the defense is, I'm pretty happy with that. So now we'll take a look at Battle Group 1. You guys will see that attack bonus, 164. They also left up one of our defenders in Battle Group 1. They had an Eye Hulk on, or sorry, an Eye A-Bomb on the Buffet Lionheart node, and they sent the correct counter. They sent a Quake, but the Quake guy itemed out because he died 3 times, I believe it was, and Eye A-Bomb was still at like 70% health. So that was just a little bit unfortunate, and they actually itemed out to 2 fights. So the guy that was their backup had to choose between one of the 2. He ended up taking down the Havoc on Path 4, Section 2, second node, rather than Immortal Abomination. So yeah, we did leave one up, but 164 attack bonus and means only 1 death, and that 1 death was my disconnect, which means that for the first time, Battle Group 1 in D69 had a deathless war. So I'm very, very proud of everyone that contributed to this war. I had a decent amount of attacker kills, nothing special. 10 is above average for last season, but below average for this season. I'm averaging, I think it's 10.25 per war. So anyways, yeah, we did win that war, so it was really, really nice. First, yeah, and then Fintech got 7 defender kills as well with 8 attacker kills. So yeah, there we go. And they died a total of 80 times, by the way, if you were looking for the grand total in case you missed it, 80 times. So 2 to 80, pretty good score. Anyways, that's going to conclude War 4. Our war record this season is going to be 1-3 now. Hopefully we get a few more matchups, 2 more wins, and we should be back in, if not Masters, right at the brink of it. Deaths total this season, still 0. Haven't died. And then our PSR this season is 41 out of 41 after 4 wars, so 100%. And our deathless streak up to 69. Perfect. Yeah, I did not plan that out at all. I didn't even plan this war. I was just assigned 10 fights. So it just lined up perfectly to get to 69 for D69. But yeah, that is going to be it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.